Howdy folks, how are you doing? So after a long time, finished the Fairco and I wanna do shop update. It's something that I think a lot of you guys are interested in, maybe some new ideas. I did a huge renovation after the Fairco run and it's good. It was a lot of work, a lot of investment, but it's definitely worth it. A lot of you guys remember the shop before was not, yeah, it was messy, but it was just not organized well because of, I had to be considerate to the house being a rent, but we are buying the house, so now I can set up the shop the way I really want, without having to think, that I have to put the things back in order when we leave. So first off, lighting, much better lighting, still not there yet, but shop is at the point where it's ready to be put back in use. So a bunch of LED lights. By the way, highly recommend these are the fake, I think, LED light bulbs, 4 feet long, from Amazon, and they were on like 50 bucks. So they're supposed to last years and years without having to change the bulbs, lower power consumption. I like it a lot. I hooked them up since they are very low watts take. I hooked them up to one of those what you normally have, at least here in Florida it's common. People have the fans and lights for the wireless remotes, so I actually found one of those and just connected one surge protector on top of it to it, so you have one hit of a button and it turns all of them on, all the lights. Used one of the old ones for my anodization table over there. It's still a little messy, but it's getting there. One more thing is there's gonna be some electrical work done because I want to have more circuit breakers, and it's gonna be cool. By the way, I ordered a bunch of those big flags. I'm gonna be big American flag and some Second Amendment flag and stuff like that. Insulated the garage door, very important here in Florida, otherwise it's a hell here during the summer. Right now it's a nightmare to work here, it's really hot. So I isolated the garage door, pop in more powerful AC unit into the window, so right now it's actually, at the worst part of the day, the hot day, it gets to about 80 degrees here, which is still beautiful. It's really nice to work with. It's still warm, I'm gonna be sweating, but it's not bad. So 2 assembly tables in the center. 2 assembly tables in the center, that's the clean tables, that's where I'm gonna be setting, putting things together. Still the same wood tables from Home Depot, same ones I had before. I like them. I had them. I actually bought 2 more because I needed them. Organization is thanks to those heavy-duty shelves from, you see this everywhere, Home Depots, Sam's Club, Amazon, everywhere. Amazon has them for good money. They're 59 bucks shipped for both of them, 3 footers and 4 footers, 5 shelf units, so they are good. And perfect for organization, so everything is on the outside perimeter. This will be just for the food and waters, storage. There are bins with the parts and all that stuff. Very good to keep everything in the middle, on the outside, and that gives me the center for the table. This one is actually on the thick plywood and heavy-duty lockable wheels, so I can pop the brakes off and move it pretty much anywhere, because behind that wall you have the water heater, the house water heater, and 2 air compressor tanks. So any maintenance on any of the 3 things there, it's behind it, it's accessible, and I gain a whole lot more of a storage space which otherwise wouldn't be used, and you would just see ugly air compressors there. Found a really good deal on fridges. There's a place here that sells the the banged up fridges from the deliveries. It's brand new, but somebody banged it up probably during the delivery, so very good deals on that. Good thing to have in the in the shop for all the extra food you have and for the waters and all that stuff. New thing is, remember that corner used to be drills, so the drill corner is relocated over here. Yes, I used to have a window there. This is what used to be the grinding room from the plywoods and 2x4s. So that turned into the drilling corner. My old mill, 0704 Grizzly. Let me turn this off so we can hear. I picked up one more. I was very curious about this one. It's a pretty good deal. It's like 850 bucks. It's the smaller brother of this one, G0758. If you look at them, let me try to get them both in the shot. They're almost identical. You know, you have the digital readout for the speed, digital readout for the depth, the same style, but the table is slightly smaller. Well, it looks like significantly smaller, but actually even that is plenty for a knife maker. For, you know, from knowing what I do with knives and the mill on my knives, mill work, plenty big, that little table. You just have to, I have to probably get smaller vise, because right now it's good and it's solid, but I'm just not crazy about the idea of having one screw and a clamp. And so maybe a little smaller vise, and I would still, if I really want to, I would still be able to put one of the smaller rotary tables. You know, so for small knives, plenty big actually. It's 3/4 horsepower. I think that's similar to that. I think that one is 1 horsepower. So haven't used it yet, but because it came in yesterday, I think it's gonna be really good. So my old 3 drill presses added one more of the little guys. I'm not sure if I showed this in the previous videos. These are the, I mean, they are all made in China. These are of Amazon. They were like 75 bucks. You know, when I got it first, I thought it's gonna be some China crap, because I think Frank Fisher had one of those and he wasn't happy with it. But when I got mine, I fell in love with it, because it's really good for the tiny little drill bits, you know, the carbide drill bits, which if you use regular drill presses, because of the low speed, they snap very easy, and they're very expensive, you know, considering the tiny little drill bit. Where is some? Well, it's smaller than this actually. The D10 bits are even tinier than this. It's really, you know, this little thing. They snap very easy. They're fragile at the low speed, because they are made for the high speed, and these are high speed. These go, I think, from 5 to 10,000, something like that, RPM. Yeah, something like that. And they are ideal for those little carbide drill bits. So D10s, you know, you use two D10 two sizes for the D10s, and actually two. I'm thinking about picking one more for the thread holes, screw holes. So you have one size that you use for a hole that you're gonna be tapping, and there is another one bigger size for the pass through. You know, if you need to pass 256 screw through and through without having to thread it, you know, like a free pass, there's another bit. So, you know, essentially 4 of these would be ideal, so I never have to change them. I never run the risk of, you know, grabbing a wrong size bit and drilling the wrong size hole. So that's ideal. Charging on the bottom, vacuum, anything else worth mentioning? Still have to clean up that, but that's gonna be probably dedicated for the mill things, you know, so collets, beads and all that, so you can kind of see them there. Also, I found this little thing on actually it was at Home Depot. It wasn't made for the pegboard, but I put it there. It's kind of handy to have it. I'm used to having something like that, but that I wasn't able to mount anymore, so that's actually very similar. I think it was actually even cheaper than that, and I like that a lot. So that's about the same, I think. One more thing I want to mention is the idea with the locking wheels and being able to move it. I'm thinking about, I already decided I'm gonna do it. Oops. I'm gonna put the cross 2x4s on the bottom to tie it together even more, because it is screwed in the middle right now. So it's one solid big, you know, heavy duty table. I'm gonna put a couple of them on the bottom, you know, one from each side here and one from each side there. Set it up higher and put the 4 heavy duty locking wheels on the table as well. So if I ever want to, I can pop the brakes, disconnect the power and move the table. You know, essentially this table easily would fit over there. By the way, that AC actually fits there, but it's more efficient when it's up here, you know, closer to the center of the room. So I can pop the whole assembly table there, and you know, if I ever need to, not that I ever will, but let's say we're gonna go for vacation or something, I can put the second car into the garage, which is kind of nice. And the grinding room, well, this is where the magic happens, really. Let me turn the fan off. Fan is because the grinding room actually has a, this used to be office, so this actually has the AC intake, and the fan actually helps it move out too, because I had to close the vent that takes the hot air from the room in, because of course I don't want the dust to go into the unit. So grinding room, picked up a new table, still my old grinder. I'm thinking about picking one more of these because they're really good, and just to have a backup. Put some shielding just for the cool mist and the spraying and all that mess, you know, so one in the back, one tilted this way, and then I had the same system in the old grinding room. It's a Kydex sheet, kind of form into the gutter, I guess you would say. So whatever leaks there, everything goes down and then into the bucket. Now this one, how is it? Okay, easily removable. So if I'm grinding, you know, regular blades, it can go there. If I'm not, I actually have, you see the two strings there, you know, like paracord. It can be hang here for the horizontal, horizontal grinding. It can be set there. Still wanna figure out somehow maybe a cyclone system there, so I can have this all the time, even when I'm, you know, even with the risk of when I'm grinding the titanium. Occasionally you get the spark, very rarely, but sometimes you do. And those sparks got a big risk of a fire with the dust collector. So I want to eliminate that and still be able to use the dust collector for everything, you know, try to collect as much as possible without having to actually clean all the outside, you know, having to leave it just splashing on the corner, on the walls like I used to in the grinding room, and then cleaning up afterwards. I would like to be able to use the dust collector, you know, all the time. By the way, if you're wondering, extra bag, new bag for that, that's a 1 micron bag for the garbage dust collector, which is great, you know, knowing that none of the dust is actually escaping from there. And the bottom there's a plastic, so that collects it, so you can just dump it easily. Sandblasting cabinet, still love it. Cyclone, really good. Only thing what I did, I'm doing the glass instead of the, you know, original plastic protectors. I'm duct taping glass sheets because the glass is only like $2 in Home Depot, and it lasts a lot longer than the plastic protectors. I did a nice simple divider here for the air. All of them are quick disconnect, even the main feed. Cool mists have their valve, so I can just, you know, hit the valve, turn the cool mist on and off. This is a new thing, I don't think you guys seen this. It's my new tumbler. I mean new, it's about 2 months old now. It was very expensive. If you think, you know, you're familiar with Harbor Freight tumblers for, you know, 100-150 bucks, the two sizes. It was a lot more money, but tumbling is a very important process in pretty much manufacturing anything, you know, making anything. It's a very important process, and it works really well. It's huge compared to, I think it's 3 or 4 times the size, you know, volume of it. It's 3 or 4 times the size of the big Harbor Freight. So I can do a lot more parts there, a lot more efficiently. You know, I can put the whole knife there, the 4 or 5 pieces of a knife, and not having to worry about them anytime sticking together and rubbing against each other. You know, they're just getting tumbled nicely. It has a water circulation system, so it constantly, you know, puts the water there and takes it away, so it's really nice. Belt organizing, nothing new really, just different way, same thing, same idea, same bandsaw, same buffer, same angle grinder with the wire wheel for the orange peel. One more thing, rarely people mention in the shops, fire extinguishers. Of course, you know, pretty much any shop is a big risk of a fire and you don't want to risk it. So fire extinguishers anywhere, everywhere. So I have the two, you know, what is it called? Like the serious one, the one with the powder here. My favorite ones for the occasional sparks are these. I mean, normally you see the Tundra one in Home Depot. This is the same thing. It's like a slime. It's a really slimy thing that you spray on, and you can use it, you know, many times. So, you know, to put a little timber from the spark, you just spray it and it works really well. So I have those everywhere. You know, what is there? Over there. There is one over there. There. I have them everywhere. They are just handy. Over there. I found a good deal on them because fire extinguishers are pretty pricey, and especially when you're buying it, you feel like, oh, it's so much money for something you only might need. But trust me guys, you want to invest in it because you don't want to burn your place down. It can happen very easily, you know, especially if you work with stuff like titanium, steel, zirconium and all that stuff. Very flammable. Not to mention even the regular dust, even when you're working with the fixed blades and wood handles and micarta and all that stuff. Pretty much anything in the dust form combined with the good amount of air, which pretty much that provides you, is a bad idea. Also, one more thing, if you notice there, I ran the water hose there, so I can fill up my reservoir for the cool mist. I can wash things up. I can again put the fire out if I ever, you know, if there is ever a, you know, fire. It's not really a fire if it catches on, but it's a huge, very hot ball of steel and titanium dust. It's, you know, imagine a fire starter, ferrocerium fire starter on steroids. That's what it looks like. That's how it behaves. And I think that's about it. Is there anything else worth mentioning? Chemicals and all cleaning stuff, corner of the, you know, outside, you know, close to the outside. I think that's about it. One more thing I'm gonna show you since we're here, which will actually take some of these bins, actually stuff that can be outside in the, not outside, but stuff that can be in the humid environments and hot, will actually be moved to the, got myself a nice shed, really nice shed for the, I have bikes, kayaks, ATV, all the fun stuff is out there. And there are a couple more bins that I can move there. So guys, hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found it helpful. By the way, that's magnets. Heavy duty, those niobium magnets. They're awesome. I cannot wait to get all the flags here. There are some cool flags coming, so it's gonna be fun. Definitely a nice thing to look at than nicer thing to look at than just white insulation in the garage door. And I think that's it, yeah. Like I said, electric works, still have some electric work to do and some cleaning up, you know, not cleaning up, just reorganizing, because right now it's just, most of the stuff is just popped into the shelves, you know, quickly when I was doing the garage, but that has time. The main thing is now, hopefully in 2 days, we should have the closing tomorrow, so hopefully the day after I should start working, actually working. A lot of stuff happening. I think a lot of you guys know that it all comes with buying a house, and we are excited about it. So guys, thank you for your support. If you have any question, I'll try to answer. And take it easy guys. Don't cut yourself.